Hello everyone and thank you for joining us for our Game Week 28 Captaincy discussion and preview show. I'm Chris and with me is, as always, the other half of the FPL Cougars team, Kieran. Hello.
Good evening, how are you doing?
Yeah, very good, very good. So we managed to survive Game Week 27. We did predict it'd be a low scoring average on last week's show and that came to be true. So it was 35 points, lowest of the season. And tonight's show, we're going to look ahead to Game Week 28, which kicks off tomorrow evening. We're going to do another shorter show this week. The main focus will be on captaincy, but we're also going to wrap up Game Week 27 and talk about the two big games that happened yesterday. So the Manchester United-Liverpool game and the Carabao Cup final between Man City and Chelsea. So I think we're going to get right into the action by looking at our points and how we got on last game week. So Kieran, do you want to start us off?
So 48, which is nicely above average, which is 35. And yeah, when considering the overall average was 37, as you said, 48 was a nice green arrow of 14k places up to 67k overall. So yeah, pretty pleased, to be honest. Kolasinac was nice points, Robertson nice points, and then my transfer, because we actually heard from Roy, who actually gave us a definitive answer of someone's actually injured. So I did that, the change of Aaron Wan-Bissaka to Lascelles, and that paid off instantly. So that was really nice. Yeah, happy with that. And then obviously captain fail, Son, not great, but everyone's captains failed this week pretty much, or all the big ones. So never mind. But you know, the rest of them with Salah, Mane, Pogba, little extra points from clean sheets. Every little helps, I suppose. And Jiminez goal. Yeah, couldn't complain too much. So yeah, overall survived.
Yeah, you did well with the Lacazelle's transfer coming in and getting you 6 points straight off the bat. That was probably that took your game week, up a level, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I fared a little bit differently. So I had on. Was it Friday? Yeah, I had to deal with the Wan-Bissaka news, and I'd already knew I was going to take out Sane. So Sane to Felipe Anderson had been penciled in, and I'd thought long and hard about taking advantage of him. He didn't have the form really, but he's got some good fixtures coming up, and he's a player I wanted for the blank game week. So Sane went out, considering he's not been in the squad, and with Wan-Bissaka, picking up a hamstring injury, which usually is 2-3 weeks minimum, I thought, okay, let's make a bit of a longer term transfer, and Pereira came in. Obviously disappointed they conceded 4, but new manager now, so got that new manager bounce, which means it's going to be clean sheets until the end of the season from Pereira, Kieran. So, there's always a positive to these sort of
that's
things.
always what that means, right?
Exactly, always what that means, yeah. So I actually, last time we recorded, remember I had the captaincy on Jiminez, and you didn't ask why I had anything backing it up, because I didn't fancy him, and he actually was the best scoring player in my squad bar Robinson, so Robinson? Did I say Robertson? So yeah, I bottled that one a little bit. I went for Pogba, which is a bit of a risky move, but I just fancied him to do well with how good he's been at home recently. But didn't come in. Obviously got that valuable clean sheet point. But,
yeah. I mean, Jimenez as well was kind of lucky. Well, maybe not lucky, but like Neves was on the pitch still, so I'm not sure why he took the penalty. I don't know. Like, so we're all the people that own him are, I guess, kind of lucky to get the points from him. And like you said, Pogba turned out better than Son, because you had the feeling that Son and Burnley would do well.
Oh yeah,
and
pick me up.
Yeah, you did good call, I suppose.
Thank you.
But yeah, Son blank was pretty anonymous, wasn't he? So and Kane came back and scored. Disappointing, but I'm already thinking about is Son the man? But maybe I'll keep him for a while yet.
Really? After one blank?
Yeah, just because I have such a power midfield that I feel like I need to be getting someone in for the blanks, and Son might be going. So I don't know.
I'd just chop Mane's head off. He'd be of all the midfield players I'd want to chop and get rid of. Mane's head would fall to the floor. For
sure, he is in my mind, but he does play, obviously in the all blanks. So, but yeah, I have been thinking about getting rid of him for another, like Van Dijk, for instance, and just having the 2 defence instead of the 2 attack, because obviously they're not firing. But we'll talk about that later.
Okay, all right. So where did I finish? 40 points. I think I would dropped, but I didn't drop very fast. 56k to 64, 65k. So yeah, not too bad. But I'm on a really, really strong red arrow run at the moment, Kieran. No one has touched me with these red arrows. They're coming in thick and fast. But I'm feeling up to game week. I'm hitting my stride right now. Game week 28. Oh, Yeah.
I'm 2 points behind you now.
I know.
And I was about
see it.
50 odd points behind
I
you
know.
about 3 to 4 weeks ago. So, yeah, I've clawed it right back.
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
I
the
think-
overall is looking okay now.
No, you're back in there. I think what I'll say is you've done really well, and I've done okay because I don't think I've done badly, and you've just been playing it well. I think Foster's been your main thing. Foster's
Yeah.
got you some really nice differential points.
It's mainly been just 2, maybe 3-ish, like good weeks, and that's what's got me back into it. Because I was, I think 2 weeks ago, 123k.
Yeah.
Now back up to 60k, and it feels a lot better.
Exactly, you've done really well. So onwards and upwards to game week 28, which we're going to talk about. Oh, actually, we're going to talk about the Cougars mini league really briefly before we move on. It was like I say, it's a fairly low scoring average this week, so it was hard to pick and choose. But I have to say, well done to Patrick Larson, who's 9th in the Cougars league overall, and he managed an impressive 57 points this game week, despite having a Aubameyang captain. So that was really well done. He had Delafeu, Robertson, Doherty, double Arsenal defence with Leno and Cola. So yeah, it did really well. It was amazing, really, because his team was really lopsided. On the left-hand side of his team, he had loads of points. On the right-hand side, he had Llorente, Aubameyang, Pereira, and I think Mane. So yeah, it was just maybe 4 or 5 players there just bringing him home the points. So well done. And also an update. So every week, Kieran and I are doing our Cougars Cup pick, where each of us choose a player that neither of us own to compete against each other. So Kieran's player, Lacazette, won game week 27.
Told ya. Fancied him.
Lacazette had 7 and Arnautovic had 4. But imagine, what I was thinking is perhaps we should divide the score by the minutes played and ratio it out.
No.
What do you think? No?
Not at all. You're not weaseling out of losing.
I just think Arnie played like 20 minutes.
Yeah, but that's your fault for picking him.
So if he played 90, he would have scored like 20 points-ish.
He did look good when he came on. Yeah,
Good.
he hit the bar or post twice, didn't he? And got an
Yeah.
assist. So yeah, I think he'll probably start the next game. And you know, I think West Ham might at least get 1 goal against City.
Might at least, that is kind of you. I think the Hammers are going to get hammered, but
No, they're not. Fernandinho's out, and that, you know, we saw how bad City are without Fernandinho. So
that's true. All right, well, we'll talk about them in a moment because we're going to change screen now to look at Manchester United against Liverpool and that Sunday 2:00 kickoff. What did you think of the game overall? Enjoy it or not?
less to the not, I think. Strange game, you know, just all those injuries. It just felt like one big injury,
Yeah,
to be honest. And just the whole game, there was no fluidity. Like, the injuries affected both teams. You know what Klopp said, that, you know, Man United's injuries stopped our fluidness. Which,
Did he really say that?
He did say that. Yeah.
Get him out of here.
Which
What's he talking about?
kind of a strange thing to say, but you can kind of see why he said it, because the whole game was just basically nothingness, wasn't it? Really,
yeah.
there was no clean cut chances and defenders coming out on top. You know, 0-0. I think it was a fair result, really, because just nothing really happened.
No, it was a really strange game, wasn't it? Those 3 substitutions Ollie made in the first half sort of ruined United's flow, and I think on the same sort of theme, really, that Firmino's injury seemed to ruin their flow. We were speaking to a Liverpool supporter, a friend of ours, and he was saying he was surprised that Sturridge came on for Firmino, because in recent weeks it's been Origi that's come on, or Shaqiri's come in to slot into midfield, and they've changed the formation around with Salah up front. So to bring Sturridge on was a bit of a surprise, really. And
Yeah, he probably should have put Salah up front and Shaqiri onto the right, shouldn't he? That would have been way better. Because Sturridge is just a round peg in a square hole, or whatever it is. Like, he just doesn't fit their sort of system, does he? With Salah and Mane beside him, he just doesn't hold the ball up. He doesn't come short enough, and he's far too greedy on the ball. Whereas Firmino will, you know, flick it between them and play the intricate passes, and Sturridge just can't do that.
Yeah. No, it was a strange one. I think he had their last shot as well on target in like the 33rd minute, which was that long range. Do you remember that one?
I think it was like their only shot on target, right?
It was really. And I that's Liverpool's 3rd draw in a row now, and 3rd draw in the last 4. And I just feel like they really should have gone for the throat in that game. They had a really good chance. They just seemed to be playing long balls, wasting chances, and not passing. And Klopp was getting really frustrated as well, wasn't he, on the touchline? But I think it's not showing a a good mentality from them really, that they couldn't sort of put the pressure on United and create more at least. I know it's obviously away at Old Trafford and the crowd were going berserk, but they're meant to be going for the title there. They've got to be throwing everything at United, and to not have a shot on target after the 33rd minute was. I mean, I was pleased as a United fan, but I was, from a footballing point of view, I was expecting more from them. But,
but anyone who had double Liverpool defence, which obviously you did, but you benched Alexander-Arnold, but obviously he didn't play. Anyone who had Van Dijk and Alisson, or Robertson and Alisson, and Van Dijk, did well. Probably weren't expecting double clean sheets, but they got on the bonus as well. So, yeah, that was good if you own them. Probably a green arrow if you had those two.
Yeah. So I think one of the big things that come out of the game was Rashford's injury, because he seemed to be limping from inside the first 10 minutes until the end of the game.
He's his first tackle.
Yeah, he's now orange flagged on the game. You and I both have him. But he has the double game week in 32 to think about. So what's your plans for him?
I'm really not sure. I think Ollie said kind of contradictory things so far. He said that straight afterwards that he was injured in the first tackle when Henderson went into him, and he played 90 minutes on that ankle, and his ankle now looks like a balloon. That's what he said.
A balloon?
A balloon, yeah. Okay. And then I think it was maybe today or maybe later or something, he was quoted as saying that he's optimistic that Rashford can be fit for Palace.
That's quite
on
interesting.
Wednesday.
Okay.
So I don't know what that means. Optimistic. I mean, they need him. If he's fit, then they need him. But him bringing Lingard on when he wasn't fully back to
that was
fitness,
optimistic.
That was optimistic, and he got screwed himself over again. So can they afford to do that with Rashford? Absolutely not. You saw that Sanchez came in, didn't do anything. Saw that I can't remember who else came in now, like Pereira and all that stuff like this. It's just not good enough, is it? So Rashford for me. In my situation, I think I'll probably roll the transfer and keep him for the time being.
Play Lacazette instead.
Yeah, I'll probably keep him on just in case he is fit and plays.
Yeah.
Because he could probably do something. But if not, then he'll just go off for Lascelles or Lacazette, however you pronounce it. I get Burnley at home, Newcastle doing okay, so that looks all right. What are your plans? What do you think?
Well, I'd already planned to get rid of him this week, regardless if he was injured or not, so the injury sort of made it a little bit easier. So I'm thinking this week, Sane had come out last week for Felipe Anderson, and I was going to invest the money saved there, which I've still got in the bank, to upgrade Rashford to Aguero. So I've still got Manchester United coverage in Pogba, and I've got City coverage in Aguero for these next sort of good games. And I think now with Jesus' injury, it seems like Aguero has got more opportunities to start, even if he's coming off after the 60th minute in some games. So he came off early, didn't he, in the Champions League game last week. Obviously played 120 minutes, but we'll get onto that a bit later when I talk about captaincy, I think. But yeah, I think Rashford's going to go. And it seems like a lot of people are thinking the same way. So I think he's had 165,000 transferred out, Rashford, since yesterday. And Aguero, Rondon and Jiminez are the top three forward transfers in. So just go in that sort of way.
At the same time, for me, I mean, do I need to roll? Could I just get rid of him out? I don't know. It also depends on, is he going to be fit for the double? Because I'm going to be free hitting that anyway. So do I lose 0.4 on him and bring him back in for that double? I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just go Pogba and just not bother with Rashford and maybe one defender from them. Is there any point waiting to get rid of him? Maybe not at this point. And then it's either Barnes or Rondon for me, I suppose. Yeah. Just to maybe be able to upgrade the defence slightly.
I think like you say, if there's a chance he's going to play, then I think you don't need to do anything for now. I think you're all right.
Yeah. Well, I think the press conference is Tuesday, so yeah.
Tomorrow morning you'll find out.
Yeah. So he either doesn't play midweek and he might miss the Southampton. Who knows? And then there's you'll probably be doing the free hit in 32, or obviously he's got the blank in 31.
Yeah.
And then you'll probably free hit him in 32, which either you're going to possibly take him out, lose 0.4, or leave him in, which me, I don't know. And then 33 will blank as well. So he's not essential, I don't think. You can either get him back in on the blank, or you can just move him on now.
I think that's the thing, especially about this week, that we're going to have 3 game weeks in just over a week's time. Like if a lot of people who probably did the same thing on Friday, Saturday with Wan-Bissaka, when you hear he got a hamstring injury and it's going to be 2 weeks, you usually miss 2 games, but at the moment it looks like he could potentially miss 3 games. So knowing you're getting rid of a player for that sort of run is a bit different. So if Rashford is injured enough to miss 2 games in the space of what's going to be like 5-6 days, then I think it's wise to get rid of him, depending on how much value you've got in him.
Yeah.
United,
no, I agree.
Yeah, United's defence looking good again. That's 4 clean sheets in 7 now. Shaw or Lindelof for the double game week United have got in 32 now.
Yeah, we both commented on how Shaw and Lindelof bossed it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Maybe due to because Liverpool offense is just not doing anything at the moment, but yeah, Lindelof looked great again. Just like his World Cup Swedish self, looking really, really good, really confident. And Shaw, yeah, absolutely fantastic down that wing or down the left side, isn't it? So yeah, either one of those on the free hit in 32 seem good because they got okay fixtures. So
yeah, we haven't actually. We're still waiting to do our sort of like blanks and double game week special show, but we're waiting for the official announcements because we don't want to get caught out. We know things we think are going to happen in those game weeks, but until they're made official. So the most recent one is the Premier League announcing that Manchester United and Wolves is going to fall into game week 32, so they've both got a double game week fixture. So, but just until we know a few more, we don't want to mislead you basically. If fixtures are playing different game weeks,
they're basically nailed on, but they're not official, as in official FPL or official Premier League has not confirmed it.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to get caught out, do we, Kieran?
No, because I think they were thinking of putting the Chelsea one in 32, and that's already been changed to, or not 100%, but they're thinking that's going to go to 35 instead. So, yeah, that's another hitch in what we were thinking. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. Should we just talk about Chelsea then and their game against City? What did you think of Kepa's nonsense?
He's mental. I don't know what to say. That's just absolutely bizarre. I've never seen that before in my life. I don't know. Sarri should have ran on the pitch and dragged him off by his ear or something. Just crazy. But Sarri said that it was all a misunderstanding. He thought he was injured, whereas Kepa was just saying no, I'm fine. He was just waving his hand to say no, I'm completely fine. But at the same time, he'd made the decision to get rid of him, and it's just.
I think that's weird, a good cover. That's like a good save face in the press conference to make it not a bigger thing than it is. Because it just looked disrespectful, didn't it? And it just looked like there was no communication.
At the same time, I think because he said that, I think Kepa will keep his place and probably will just go on as normal. And I think Sarri will keep his job as well. So I think it's the way he's handled it. I think has kind of died down all this sort of pressure that people are thinking of straight away, at least. And nobody's really talking about it now. So, yeah. That's
fair enough. And I think it affected him in the penalties as well, didn't it? Because, that one from Aguero, I don't know how that doesn't go in 9 times out of 10. It just slipped under him, didn't it? He was whipped up.
He was pumped, yeah. But, he saved one, did all right. The other ones he was nowhere near. But
do you remember when he was standing on the wrong side of the goal and they had to get him to move?
Oh,
he went the wrong side and David Luiz was telling him, oh, what a fool. Anyway, from an FPL point of view, I wanted to talk about Alonso because I still have him along with 25% of the game. We've kept faith, Kieran. Probably unwisely, but we've still got him. Basically because I've had other things to do, really, and he's just been burning money on my bench. But it's coming to the crunch point now where Emerson came in yesterday and played really well. I thought he looked a much better defensive unit or defensive player than Alonso has. But the fact that Chelsea have now got a game in what they were originally going to blank in, isn't that right, in 31, I believe? Yes, they've got a game now. I feel like I need to give it another game week to see if he's going to play in the Premier League and what Sarri's plans are with rotating, because it's strange that he played against City at the Etihad and they got battered, obviously got rotated now, but then he played against Huddersfield, so it makes me think that Sarri's prepared to play Alonso against sort of some of the lesser sides at home. So I think if he's not played against Tottenham, that should go some way to confirming that sort of theory. Yeah,
fair enough. Not much to say on that. Yeah, you've had other fires, haven't you? So yeah.
Yeah, just to mention it, really. Are you a bit worried about all of the players playing 120 minutes in this one? Aguero, Sterling?
Yeah, I certainly am. Sterling for sure, because obviously he's got Sane, Mahrez, Bernardo, all those people that can play in his positions, whereas Aguero does not, whereas Jesus is out. So, yeah, Sterling, I think, almost definitely gets rotated. I really hope he doesn't. And he's the hero with a penalty, and he nearly managed to get a goal in the last minute of overtime as well, or extra time. So maybe that goes some way to making him play that game, or the West Ham game. And in the interview afterwards, he just looked like he hadn't even played. He was not sweaty. He looked fine. So that shows that he's a fit lad, and he probably could play again on Wednesday. So I just got to say, fingers crossed. Sane didn't do much when he came on, nor did no, who else? Mahrez didn't even get on. So I'm hopeful. Okay. Yeah, he's on the starting lineup at least.
All right, so if we move into our captaincy picks now and finish up on the City and Chelsea game, it seems like then Sterling is not a consideration for you this game week just because of the minutes.
Yeah, just because it's just too risky. Yeah, Vice will be on Pogba instead, and Salah is my captain at the moment.
So that's just based on what? Because I'm a little bit worried about his form. Like, my captaincy's been on him, but I've been looking at the numbers. He's only had one goal involvement in the last 4, which was one in that 3-0 win against Bournemouth. Mm-hmm. Watford have only lost 1 of their last 10 away games, which is a great record. I don't know. He seems like to be the overwhelming favourite generally, but I've just got doubts that, with Firmino out, we don't really know what to expect from Liverpool. And, Watford's pretty decent away form. I don't know. What do you think?
Like we said it before, to be honest, like when I got rid of him on wildcard back in 16 or whatever it was, he wasn't in form, and then he went and got a hat-trick against Bournemouth. So, and he got 4 goals in this fixture last year against Watford. So, they need to turn it on. They need to win. They've only got 1 point lead in the Prem now, and they've wasted their game in hand. Well, maybe not wasted, but I think they need to do something. And Salah seems to stand out pick to me. The only other one I could probably pick would be Jiminez, I think, because I think Palace are going to keep it tight against United. So I don't think Pogba's definite shot either. So maybe I'll vice Jiminez.
Well, just going back to Salah, I had a look into the other games this season where Firmino hasn't started just to get a flavour of what they were doing. So the only other game was where Liverpool were away against Huddersfield, and Salah scored the only goal, and they won the game 1-0. And I think Robertson got some bonus points there. So and they kept a clean sheet. So I think it seems like the no-brainer pick, but I don't know what it is about the Watford form and just how poor Salah's been on the eye test in the last few games. Because I thought he was pretty poor against United yesterday, and equally poor against Bayern.
Yep.
So, and I can't even remember the goal against Bournemouth. That's bad, isn't it? Do you remember what type of goal it was? Was it a set piece? Was it a penalty? I can't remember
I can't remember either.
I can remember Mane's one. Anyway, so I don't know. I just feel like he was poor against West Ham as well. I don't know. All these things in my head, but at the same time, it's Salah and Liverpool need to win. And like you say, he's got a great record against Watford. Maybe you're
thinking about Aguero anyway, so you would probably captain Aguero if you bring him in, right?
Yeah, probably would. Yeah.
But then, like I said, like Fernandinho's out. Laporte looks like he's going to be out. He's played 120 minutes. Probably will only play 60 minutes in that game.
Yeah. Whereas Salah's definitely going to play the 90.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really tricky one. So the Aguero side of things, then, just to give you more of a backdrop on my thoughts, really, it's just those back-to-back hat tricks. The fact that Jesus is probably at best still slightly injured, so if he's around, he's going to be on the bench and come on for the last 20 minutes. Aguero seems to go off anywhere between 65 and 75 minutes in the league when Jesus is around. But it's the West Ham compared to Watford sort of scenario which is making me lean towards Aguero when I bring him in. The fact that they've conceded 10 in their last 4 away games, so that's over two per game. And the fact that City are just so ruthless at home, over 2.5 goals scored in their last 10 home games, is incredible record. And Aguero's shots exceed what Salah does at home on a regular basis. So I don't know. There's lots of things pointing towards Aguero, but it's just those minutes from the final and, like you say, Fernandinho.
Yeah, if I could get him, I would. But yeah, Sterling's my City player, and he's taking up the budget there.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously not for me, but yeah, I think he's a great pick. Yeah, probably the no-brainer, if not Salah.
What do you think of Aubameyang? A lot of people have him. He's got a tasty home fixture against Bournemouth. He irritatingly got benched.
Yeah, I also think he's a great option. He should definitely start this week because he was rested in that game. Yeah, no Europa for a few weeks at least, so there's no reason to rest him. No cup games for them, I don't think. So yeah, I think Aubameyang's going to be a good shout, and if you've got him, I'd put the armband on him over Salah probably, because it's obviously the better fixture. They're at home, they got a really good run at home, and they like to bully the bad teams, and Aubameyang does definitely at least. So yeah, if you're a Lacazette owner now, be probably slightly worried because he'll probably be benched, and Aubameyang will start instead.
Do you think about Lacazette benched after the got?
Yeah,
Okay.
He's the new Pep, isn't he, Emery? He just loves to rotate, and I was super worried about Kolasinac, wasn't I? And
Yeah, you were.
And yeah, he came in, apparently had an okay game, and he got 2 bonus with no goal involvements, which was great. And
Just what you want.
He was the difference in my cup game because I'm still back through again into
nice
the
one.
last 2K. So yeah, happy about that. But yeah, Aubameyang, I think he's a good option.
Yeah, I think, well, looking at the team they're playing, Bournemouth have been terrible on the road recently. So they've lost their last 8 away games and they've conceded at least 2 in every one of those. So they are whipping boys on the road. So, like you say, I think Arsenal are going to rack up a few goals. Bournemouth are pretty good going the other way, so I wouldn't be so sure on that Kolasinac clean sheet. But going forward, I could see him getting involved with a goal or an assist there. But I just, so you think over Salah, you'd go with Aubameyang if you had them both?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. It's maybe a glutton for punishment, but he's too good a player to just look past in that fixture with Watford's form. He's probably Bournemouth are more susceptible to goals than I say West Ham are.
Yeah.
So yeah, Aubameyang if you've got him.
Cool.
And yeah, that's why I might bench Kolasinac. I'm not really sure because I can't really see a clean sheet there either.
But I think he's got more chance of attacking returns than Lacazette's.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah.
Any differential captains? I mean, you mentioned Jiminez earlier.
Yeah, it's just Huddersfield, isn't it? Like any team that play Huddersfield, and Wolves are a decent team. Yeah. So yeah, why not? But he's played all the games recently, so he might be rotated. There might be a few rotations this week. We thought this week was bad. Midweek fixtures always throw up some stuff, don't they? So yeah, the people that you think are most nailed on maybe getting rest. Even Robertson. Klopp talked about Robertson of having that slight injury when Lukaku fell on him, and he said he has to wait and see with it, sort of thing. So yeah, even the people that are most nailed, you might be worried about.
That's quite interesting. Well, I had a look again. You know what I'm like, Kieran? I like colour theory, all right? So Huddersfield have kept a clean sheet against Wolves in their last 4 games, and I think it's probably because they like playing teams in gold. But going back, Huddersfield haven't won in 15. But Kieran, do you know who their last win in the Premier League was against?
Well, I'm guessing you're going to say Wolves.
It was Wolves. Yeah,
wow.
You got it right. So yeah, they've only lost since then. That was back in November, I think. So I don't know. Maybe Huddersfield have got this voodoo hex curse over Wolves.
I mean, Huddersfield are definitely better at home. So yeah. Having said that, it might be tight. It might be a 1-0. Wolves or something like that, but Jiminez could get that goal for sure.
I mean, touching wood here, guys, for everyone out there, but I fancy the Doherty clean sheet this week. It's coming. I can feel it. If it's not this week, he might do a Kolasinac though and have like 12 points just lined up and just dropped 2.
I've wanted him for so long. Like I've had such envy of not owning him, but he's just been blanking, and I've just been so lucky, I think.
He got an assist at the weekend, Kieran, so he's technically in form.
Sure, but yeah, just clean sheet wise.
Clean sheet. Well, I think this is going to be a clean sheet, Kieran. I think it is.
It's got to be. It
has to be. It has to be. Cool. Have you got any captaincy even more differentials? I've got one more. I'm going to spring it on you now, Kieran.
Go on.
Jamie Vardy at home to Brighton.
Yeah. Yep.
New manager. I haven't got any stats on this. I just got new manager bounce written down. Jamie Vardy. I reckon Leicester are going to put on a show against Brighton. They need to win, and I can see Vardy getting a goal or two in that one.
Yeah, I think the last time they had a new manager, he got a brace that next game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And Brighton are pretty poor away, aren't they? As we found out this season. So probably Vardy brace, double Pereira assist. Would you say something like that?
I hope not.
What do you mean? No. God.
No, I need to have caught you up and then go past you. That's what I need.
No. Got to wait until game week 39 to do that.
Yeah.
Right then. So before we wrap this up tonight, I need to get your Cougar Cub pick. Now we haven't told each other what our Cougar Cub picks are, and I'm so excited about mine.
Oh, I don't know if I want to go my risky one or my safe one now.
And mine is a huge risky one, so you've got to play the risky one.
All right, I'll go risky as well. Mine's Almiron.
Oh, okay, that's a nice one. Yeah.
Okay,
good.
against Burnley at home.
Yeah.
Looked absolutely fantastic in that first game. So unlucky not to haul. And yeah, I hope he's going to go from strength to strength. Maybe assist Lascelles for a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to do well, I think. Obviously, Burnley are fairly tight and on a good run of form.
Yeah.
I maybe don't think there's a clean sheet because obviously Barnes and Wood are just scoring for fun at the moment. But yeah, I hope and think he'll do well.
How much is he?
6 million. 6 million,
Okay.
yeah.
That's all right, isn't it? Because they got the double coming up.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued, and I think he'll probably be in my 3-hit teams.
Yeah, I like the look of him. Okay. Well, mine is last year's PFA Young Player of the Year. Do you know who that was?
Sane?
Leroy Sané.
Bloody
it was
hell.
Leroy Sané. Yeah.
All right.
Totally out of favour. Can't get a game, but I reckon he's coming back into the team against West Ham. And
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
for someone, and I can see him doing something.
For Sterling, you're going to say.
But then I don't know what he's going to play. Well, I've got to make myself feel good because I got rid of him. So if he does well, at least he's a Cougar Cup pick. While Anderson's on the other side getting 2 points and getting subbed off about 70th minutes. He's run himself into the ground, tracking back against Carl Walker. Jesus Christ, this is going to be a tough game week. Okay.
Do you want to hear my other one that I had? It was just Aubameyang. So.
Oh, that's what? Oh, that's like
I don't own him and I fear him. So
yeah, that's true. Man, I got.
But no, it's Almiron. Okay.
Okay, we've got to set some more rules on this Cougar Cup pick.
Yeah, maybe it just should be risky.
Yeah.
Rather than safe.
Safe, risky. Okay, all right. Well, I think mine's fairly risky because he hasn't started for years.
All right. What about transfers quickly?
Oh, transfers. So okay, well, I think. Well, like I said earlier, I think because of Rashford's yellow, I'd planned to do it anyway. I want Aguero until, for the next 3 games. I think he's most likely to play in all of those, just because since he's come back from injury.
So how are you getting the funds for this?
I've just got them, Kieran. I took out a loan from FPL Towers.
So you got what, like 4 mil?
Yeah, I got like 3 point something. Ages ago, remember I downgraded Kane to Rashford. Yeah. And then recently I downgraded Sane to Anderson. So I've got money, Kieran. Okay. And I've got money in Alonso as well. He's just looking at me like a big blue cash cow.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so that's my transfer, probably.
Yep. So I have 3 options. It's either Button to Boruk, just to start on the 31-33 hype, and then or Rashford to either Barnes, Rondon, or Arnautovic, or just roll. And I think I possibly could roll. I could possibly do the Rashford move. Any of them are open at this point in time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The bottom one seems like a good forward-thinking move, but it's so uninspiring, isn't it?
For sure.
I quite like Rashford to Rondon because I quite like Rondon, but I think if Rashford's ruled out tomorrow, I probably would take the safe, boring option and play Lacazelle's. I don't know.
Would you play him or would you just let Rashford go off?
No, I'd play him. Yeah, because if Ollie said he was out.
Well,
if Ollie says
it doesn't really matter, does it, at that point? But
I don't know. It depends how long he's out for. But okay, if he's going to miss Palace and Southampton and then the Arsenal away game, and then he's got a blank, So let's say if he misses Palace and then Southampton this weekend, I probably would get rid of him for Rondon in that case.
See, I'm not sure I want to do Rondon because I don't think I want to double on Newcastle just in case they don't blank in 33.
Okay.
Because we don't know that yet because Watford have a fixture against Palace, I think, and then that will decide if Newcastle blank or play in 33.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't want to double on Newcastle yet.
Okay.
Because I think that's too risky.
They've got some great fixtures, though.
Yeah, they do, but
well.
I don't want to be wasting a transfer getting one of them out again.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
And Barnes obviously does play both and is in just as good fixtures and just good form.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I do like Barnes.
I mean, he's uninspiring for sure, but people have been getting points for him for the last 4
Barnes
weeks.
for who? Sorry.
Not Harvey Barnes, the Burnley one.
Ashley Barnes.
Yeah.
No, I do like both, Kieran. That's the problem. I'd have to have a look at more. You've hit this on me unprepared.
I prefer like Almiron if I. Obviously, Rondon's great at the moment, but I think I prefer Almiron for goals and assists.
The extra goals, yeah. And a clean sheet.
And clean sheet points. So, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe in that case, maybe then Mane to Almiron and Rashford to Barnes seems the way to go.
Not this week, though.
Maybe
if
that's
that's
minus
the case,
8 or something.
No, if that's the case, then I'd probably roll it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I if it was me, I think I'd probably roll it. Even if... Yeah. Find out what it's like from Ollie tomorrow. If he's maybe back for the Southampton game, keep him. But if he's out, then Rondon.
Yep. Okay. Fair enough.
Cool. All right. Anyone else want their questions answered? Please leave a comment on the video below or tweet us at FPL Cougars, and Kieran and I will try our hardest tomorrow to get back to each and every one of you. Just if you've got any questions ahead of game week 28 and the deadline slamming shut. I think that about wraps up tonight's show, doesn't it? Short and sweet. Thanks to everyone for joining us, listening, watching, and I guess we'll see you later this week.
On the other side.
On the other side. That's a good way to put it. Cool. All right. Until next time, it's a goodbye from me.
Cheers and good luck.